Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael, and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a user named Damn the Hallway in the True Off My Chest subreddit. The post is titled, "I'm jealous of my sister's marriage. It sickens me. I even snooped on her husband looking for evidence that he's crap. I'm ashamed. My sister and her husband always seem to have a good marriage. They have been together for around a decade, but you never really know, right? To be honest, I thought they were just pretending since I have never had a relationship that was truly good in private. Well, now I do know. I have been living with them for 3 months. They took me in when my ex cheated on me. They do nice things for each other all the time, and it is like they do not even think about it. It is just natural. They are always bringing each other little presents. My ex called me shallow when I wanted him to give me even a cheap present for my birthday. Their eyes light up when they look at each other. My ex looked at me like I was a potato. They hug each other as though they have not seen each other in months whenever one of them gets home. My ex ignored me when I got home, or wanted me to leave him the fuck alone to fucking relax whenever he got home. They encourage each other's hobbies and outside friendships. My ex hated my friends and thought my hobbies were stupid. Worse yet, I can tell they are holding back when it comes to being affectionate around me. I arrived home early from an event one day and saw her sitting in his lap while they watched TV and he played with her hair. The stuff I see is apparently just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to how much they like each other. They have even been through some tough things. Deaths, a miscarriage, job losses that can tear couples apart, but they made it through just fine, I guess. I honestly did not think relationships like this were real. I thought it was Hallmark bullshit and that all relationships are miserable hard work once you get past the honeymoon stage. I could not believe it, so I snooped on her husband, Max. It turns out his private communications are fine. He had conversations with female friends, but they were only platonic, and he even talked about how much he loves my sister, Sandra. Anyway, I felt extremely guilty about snooping, so I confessed. They forgave me. My sister took me out for the day without Max and told me she had been in shitty relationships before Max, which I already knew, and that she thinks those experiences helped her learn how to spot red flags so that she would be available when the right person for her finally came along. She has also gone to therapy for a long time, and she says it has helped her learn how to make healthy relationship choices and be a good partner. Max and Sandra offered to pay for me to get therapy. My insurance is not great, so that is nice. I just want to find something like what they have. There is a silver lining though, I guess. Now that I know this kind of relationship is not a childish fantasy, I do not think I will ever be able to put up with somebody like my ex again. Update. I am the psycho who snooped in my brother-in-law's messages because I thought it was impossible for men to be great to their partners. A short summary of my original post. My ex was shitty. In contrast, my sister's husband treats her so well that I thought it could not be real. I snooped on him to try and find out what he was really up to, but he was not up to anything. I confessed after realizing how horrible I had been. My sister and her husband offered to get me therapy. I am not sure exactly where to start, so I am going to use a list format and just write things in whatever order they come to mind. I started therapy very soon after my post. My first therapist was not great, so my sister Sandra encouraged me to find another, and my second one was awesome. I am still seeing him once every 2 weeks. He has helped me a lot with healing from the trauma of my last relationships and also with learning how to relate to others in a more healthy way in every part of my life. He has also really helped me learn how to manage bitterness and jealousy by finding the underlying causes and working on those. I moved out of my sister and brother-in-law's house after a couple of months. It turns out that my sister and brother-in-law were secretly livid about the snooping, but they appreciated that I had confessed on my own and decided to be kind and help me. They decided that if I took advantage of the help they offered and put effort into being better, they would forgive me. I did not realize how close I was to making my sister go low contact with me. Thankfully, I did take their help. I am not upset seeing how loving my brother-in-law is to my sister anymore. I am happy for her. They became foster parents after I moved out and are now in the process of adopting the little girl they have been fostering. They are literally the perfect people to be nurturing a traumatized child. They are doing so great, and the little girl, Maddie, is doing so much better than when she was first placed with them. She is an amazing girl, and she and my sister and brother-in-law are so lucky they have all found each other. I have been single the whole time. That was on purpose. A few months ago, though, I determined that I would be open to dating again. I did not want to actively do anything, no dating sites, but I decided I would not purposely avoid dating anymore. A week ago, a guy I became friends with at an animal shelter I started volunteering at about 6 months ago asked me out. I said yes. Our first date was great. He is very kind. He is the guy you go to if you need to calm down a traumatized, terrified animal. He cleans diarrhea-coated animal carriers without any complaint. My sister approves of him. He is very funny too. User Not Found said, "Wow, I was legitimately angry reading the first post, so I am glad she turned things around." To this dreaded anxiety said, "Not going to lie, her sister and brother are angels. I am all for loving your family and helping as much as you can, but there is a line. Snooping on a significant other's phone and hoping I would be miserable too. That would be the point where I would kick them out and tell them they do not have love in their life because they are not worth it." Tall Loss said, "One of my favorite things I have ever read was jealousy is a messenger because it is your body or brain telling you that you need something you are not getting, but it does not mean other people cannot have it." OP was severely in need of good love, and how lucky for her that her sister could model that for her and also be so forgiving after OP's gigantic mistake. This post was made in the relationship advice subreddit by a throwaway account. The post is titled, "I cheated on my husband and now I suspect he's seeing another woman. I know I did something awful and disgusting, and when I could not take the guilt anymore, I cut off my affair partner and confessed everything to my husband. He got more upset and depressed than angry, and I begged him not to divorce me. I proposed counseling, therapy, even allowing him to have sex with other women, but he was not interested. He said he wanted to try to work things out, and I jumped in, being the best wife a man can ask for. I cook his favorite dishes, leave him loving notes, and bought new lingerie to entice him. His reactions are lukewarm at best. He smiles and thanks me, but not once has he said he loves me since I confessed. He barely initiates anything, and I basically have to push myself on him, not that he complains. Sometimes we talk about this, but I think I still lost the man I love. His behavior with me feels very artificial, and nothing changes his facade. I can be playful, I can be sad, I can get angry, and I can get seductive. His reaction is always this stupid smile and polite words. He was so emotional and sincere before all of this happened. I want him to let out his true emotions with me even if he hates me. I still love him so much. What can I do to fix this?" A deleted user said, "There is nothing you can do to fix this. You most likely ruined your marriage irreparably. Good job. Leave that man alone." Sugar Weasel said, "You said you have tried everything, but that is not true. You have not tried being patient. Do not pressure him into having sex with you to assuage your own guilt. That is not going to help him heal from the hurt you caused. You had an affair. The wound that inflicted runs deep, and it will not heal overnight. If you want your marriage to work, you have to resign yourself to the fact that it could take years to repair the damage you have caused, and things may never be exactly as they were before. Give him time, and when he is ready, let him come to you and tell you what he needs from you to make this work. Do not try to push it or put pressure on him. If anything, that will just push him further away. The things you have been doing so far have not been focused on helping him heal. They have been focused on helping you feel less guilty. Being selfish is what got you into this mess in the first place. You are just going to have to let yourself feel bad for a while, and if you cannot do that, you may as well just leave him." Old Yogurt Closet said, "You do not respect your husband. You do not respect your marriage. Betraying your husband was disrespectful. Buying new lingerie and pushing yourself on him after the fact is incredibly callous and disrespectful. You have destroyed, devastated, and emasculated this man, and you act so nonchalant about it. Update. He left me and he was cheating on me. I did like you guys said and begged him to talk to me. He did not want to, but I cried and yelled so much I threw up all over. He got softer with me, he helped me clean up, and we talked. I asked him if he was cheating on me, and he said he was talking with someone but did not do anything with her. I asked if she was the woman my friend saw him with. He thought about it a little but said no. It was another woman whom he met a month ago in his office. I asked him how he could do that, since I gave him permission, and he said he did not do anything besides unloading his problems and our situation with her. But he acted like he was having a full affair, so I could feel what he felt, especially because, according to him, I neglected him and made it obvious I was cheating on him. He said he was suffering and I was almost rubbing it in his face. I told him I was not doing it on purpose, and he said this was even worse because I did not care at all. He said that everything I did after confessing meant nothing and just made him think I am selfish, self-centered, and lack any sort of self-respect. I asked him if we could work on myself and our marriage, but he said we can have counseling to sort ourselves out, but the marriage is over. He said he wishes no ill on me and decided to cut his act because he could no longer bear to see the woman he once loved suffer like that. But he said I am no longer that woman. I started sobbing again and he held me, but he kept saying no when I asked him if we could work this out. I asked him what he was going to do and he is moving out. He already found a new place. I asked him if he was going to live with that woman and he said no, but she was close enough. I asked him how he could pick a total stranger he met a month ago over his wife of 5 years. He said his wife of 5 years no longer exists. He has to pick between two strangers, and that woman made a much better impression on him. I told him he was a fool and that he could not know this woman would probably use and dump him. He got harsh and said she is better than me for sure. He said he would not tell our families our marriage ended because I cheated, but because we grew apart, and that he will leave the house to me as long as I make the divorce smooth. But if I try to take him to the cleaners, drag it out, or cause any problem, he will tell everyone what I did and destroy me and my reputation. This happened yesterday, and he has already packed up almost everything. I cannot stop crying, and I cannot believe this is happening. This is horrible and unfair. Update 2. This feels like a nightmare. I keep telling myself it is not real and that I am going to wake up. My husband moved out 2 weeks ago, ostensibly to live with another woman, but I kept an eye and ear on him and had some friends tell me about his activities. Seemingly, there was no other woman at all. I thought, I hoped he was just collecting his thoughts and that he would come back to me. But today, he did it. He had me served. I do not want to believe he is done with us. I love him so much and I miss him every day. This next post was made in the relationship subreddit by a user named MostBest. The post is titled, "My best friend is barely talking to me after we shared an intimate moment," using a throwaway because he follows my actual account. I have known my friend since middle school. We were neighbors and went to the same schools, and we have always been super close. Until very recently, there were absolutely no romantic feelings or attraction between us. He has always just been my friend. A few months ago, we had a falling out. He was dating this crazy girl who was treating him like shit. She was super controlling over him. We pretty much never saw each other after they started dating. He called me one night to complain about her not giving him any space, and I told him exactly what I thought about her. I did not like her. She was rude, and he could definitely have been doing better. When I told him all of that, he blew up at me. He said I was meddling in his relationship and that I did not know her. He called me some pretty harsh words and told me I was jealous. I had no feelings for him at the time other than seeing him as my best friend. I was not jealous, I just missed my friend and thought he should be treated better. After that call, we did not talk much at all for months until 2 weeks ago. He stopped hanging around our friend group when I was there, and he did not return my messages. Well, they broke up, and while he did not message me right away, he eventually started sending me stuff on Instagram, just memes and reels, nothing much, and we did not talk about his breakup. That is, until last week when he called me and apologized for just falling off with me. He told me I was right about her controlling him, and he said that she did not want him talking to me because she thought I wanted him. We made up, and I met him at his place to hang out for the first time in months. When we were hanging out, we were getting really physically close in a way that we had never done before, and we ended up hooking up. I never thought that would happen with him. I think maybe not seeing him for a while made me miss him to the point that new feelings developed. Like an hour after, he told me that we should not have hooked up, that I was like a sister to him, and that he was not attracted to me at all. We got into an argument, and I ended up leaving without staying the night. Now we are back to not really talking at all. He will send a funny thing he saw on Instagram every other day, but he will not discuss anything with me at all. I do not know what to do. He has been my best friend forever, and now we have had 2 back-to-back falling outs. I do not know how I feel about him, but I do not want to lose him from my life. Do I just give this time? Do I call him and insist that we talk about what happened? This is really tearing me apart. Update. A lot happened in just a few days since I last posted. First, thanks for all the feedback. I was having a hard time admitting that I had been mistreated, and it is pretty clear that I have been in denial about my feelings for my friend for a long time. A few comments in particular forced me to see how obviously jealous I had been of his exes. I did not like the last girlfriend because he was spending more time with her than with me. She had a point about me, and I do not really blame her for not wanting me around him as much as I was before. So he texted me Friday night and asked if he could take me out to make up for all that had happened. I agreed, but I told him that we were really going to need to talk about the past few months, and especially about the night we slept together. He took me out to a really nice place, and he immediately apologized for a lot. He said he was sorry for ditching me for months just to message me, sleep with me, and then ditch me again. He apologized for being so cold after taking my virginity and not checking in to make sure I was okay. He also said that he was sorry for using me for years, that he had been keeping me around for emotional support while not really returning the same support to me. He confessed that the last relationship ended because they were both cheating on each other and that he knew he was a serial cheater. He asked how I was doing since we hooked up, and it was hard for me to answer. I can admit now that I wanted it for a long time. I remember wishing he would ask me to dances when we were kids. Our friends had teased me about it, but I always shrugged it off. I told him that I was hurt, that the guy I have known for most of my life took my virginity and then told me that I was not attractive. Having that happen was one of the most hurtful things I have ever experienced, and I felt betrayed and used by my best friend. He again apologized and said that he has been attracted to me for a long time, and that he has wanted us to be more for years. He said that I deserve better than that. He also said that he still had a great time with me that night and that it was better than he had always thought it would be. Then he asked if I wanted to try being more than friends, and I told him that I wanted to, but I did not know if it would be a good idea. In this conversation, he told me that he was a serial cheater. I kept thinking about all the comments on here telling me not to just trust his sweet words, that his actions speak louder. I asked why he thought he would treat me any better than the many other women he has been with and treated terribly, especially after treating me terribly too. That made me cry a bit, and he said that I mattered more than the others, that what we had was more special, and that his family, who I said in the comments have been like my surrogate family, always thought we would get together. I have never really seen him cry before. He has always been guarded and wanting to seem tough. It was new to see him so vulnerable. I told him that if we were to start dating, I would want to take a few steps back and start slow. I am not going to just jump back in bed with him. He needs to prove to me that he can do better. The rest of the date went well. He took me to my favorite dessert place before dropping me off at my place. He did not try to convince me to let him come inside for any more, but he gave me a very sweet kiss. I think I am going to try to make this work. I love him. He has been my favorite person for years. I want to be able to trust him, but I am going to make him prove to me that he means all the things he said to me tonight before I let him get too close. Baseball 44 said, he said that I mattered more than the others. If that does not sound like something a serial cheater would say to their next victim, then I do not know what does. Inu Ghost said, I read the mood spoiler and went straight to the comments. I get the feeling this is one to skip for my sanity and blood pressure. Blue Ponder Smudge said, oh my god, she was a virgin. Please do not tell me that she had not dated men because she did not trust them, and now this guy will affirm all of her prior notions and scar her for life. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and thank you also to partner of the channel, Gamersupps. Use code DLAM to support the channel and get 10% off of your purchase, link in the description. I'm sure many of you like me have a hankering for daily caffeine, so go check them out. Lately, I've been a big fan of Titty Milk and Acid Rain, but they've got dozens of other flavors for y'all to try out. Anyway, thanks again for reaching the end, and I hope you all have an amazing passage of the next 24 hours.